Her voice wasn't scared. It was flat, too calm, too rehearsed. "Dad, don't ever go back to that house." I paused, halfway through unzipping her overnight bag. She was 8. 8-year-olds don't talk like that. I crouched to her level. "Why? What happened?" No answer, just a quiet breath. Then she reached into the front pocket of her backpack, pulled out her phone, my old one I'd given her to play games on, and handed it to me. "Look at this, Dad." The screen lit up. A video. Grainy, shaky. The phone must have been left recording by accident or on purpose. My mother-in-law's voice was unmistakable, sharp, sly. She has no idea, just like her father didn't. Poor man, all those years and he still thinks she's his. Then laughter, soft, smug, and another voice, my wife's. "I know, but don't worry, he won't figure it out. He never does." They were talking about my daughter. My mouth went dry. I replayed it. Once, twice. The words didn't change. She's not mine. She was never mine. But I carried her home from the hospital, sung her to sleep, taught her how to tie her shoes. They stole the only thing that mattered from me. And now I had the tape. I didn't ask questions, didn't call my wife, didn't scream or cry or crumble into some pathetic display. I tucked my daughter into bed, kissed her forehead, told her I loved her. Then I sat on the couch and stared at the wall for 3 hours. Everything blurred. The birthdays, the bedtime stories, the scraped knees I'd kissed, the way she clung to me after nightmares. If she wasn't mine, what was I? What were they? I watched the video again. It looped, like a knife, sliding slowly across my chest. Each time it played, another layer of denial peeled away. She's not his. He won't figure it out. But I had, and now I couldn't unknow. Still, I needed certainty, proof beyond whispers and wicked laughter. Because lies wear masks, and I needed to tear every last one off before I moved. I took a toothbrush from her bathroom, swabbed the inside of my cheek with a cotton pad, sent it out for a private paternity test. No fanfare. While I waited, I watched them. My wife didn't notice the difference. Or maybe she did and mistook my quiet for weakness. She still kissed me in the mornings, still played the doting mother, still smiled too easily. I watched the way she touched her phone, face always down, screen always angled. I cloned it while she was in the shower. Messages with her mother confirmed it. The timing, the fear, the cover-up. "He's acting weird. You don't think she told him, do you? She's just a child. Don't panic. Stick to the story." Every message was a confession wrapped in cowardice. The DNA results arrived 4 days later. I didn't cry. I didn't shout. I just stood in the bathroom staring at the paper like it had rewritten my entire bloodline. Probability of paternity, 0.0%. They'd used me. 8 years of playing house with a loaded lie. I waited until the next Sunday dinner, her mother's house. Everyone was there. My wife, my daughter, her mother. Wine glasses clinked, laughter danced across the table. I asked my wife to pass the salt. She handed it to me, smiling. I set the folded report on the table between us. She didn't touch it at first, but her mother did. One glance, then another. Her fingers stiffened on the stem of her glass. My wife looked down. Her smile faltered, died. She opened the paper. She didn't speak, didn't deny, didn't beg. She just looked at me, eyes wide, mouth trembling, like I was the villain. But I didn't say a word, didn't move a muscle. I just leaned forward and whispered. She knows. She heard everything. Her face collapsed. A sound left her lips, half sob, half gasp. But it was her mother who broke first. "You shouldn't have. This is between us." "No," I said, calm, cold. "It was between you. I was just the idiot in the room." I didn't yell, didn't fight. I stood up, looked down at my wife, at the woman who stole a fatherhood she never intended to give me. Then I turned to my daughter. She sat there, quiet, wide-eyed, small hands gripping the edge of her seat. I handed her a small overnight bag I'd packed just in case. "Let's go." She didn't look back. Neither did I. Behind me, I heard dishes clatter, voices rise. I left the papers on the table, the video on her phone. I knew she'd find it when she tried to unlock it again. That was the revenge, not rage. Truth. Truth that didn't scream. Truth that unraveled. We stayed in a hotel that night, quiet, dim, safe. She curled into my side, and for the first time in days, I slept. The next morning, I filed for divorce. No arguments, no custody battle, just a single phrase in the paperwork: fraudulent paternity. Let the court decide the rest. But I already knew what mattered. She's not my daughter by blood, but love runs deeper than DNA, and betrayal cuts sharper than any test result. My wife lost a husband. Her mother lost control. I lost an illusion, and sometimes that's the most freeing thing a man can lose. I'll never go back to that house, but she'll never forget that I left it with her and with the truth. Final line: they thought I wouldn't figure it out. They forgot who taught her to watch, to listen, to record.